Well, hello there once again, you fair creators. My name is Rob, and if you've been here for the last couple of weeks and you're wondering who on earth I am, well, I am the creator in residence here at vidIQ, helping you on your YouTube journey. And we do this every single week, every single Tuesday. We open up our doors and invite you in as fellow creators, possibly students, as you submit your channels for review, critique, exposition, disposition, conclusions, summaries, hypotheses, and all of those words that I forgot after I finished university, to give you a bit of education, a bit of motivation, entertainment, wisdom, and inspiration on all of our YouTube journeys. And hello to all of his people, like the Renaissance, hello, and the man is here as well. T&M Tuk Tak is also here, and Lil Crafty Nook, thank you. Whoever this is putting up all of these high messages, I'm very grateful. And you know what, I actually know who's doing this. It is my co-producer, my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the creator here who truly appreciates you. It is Dan. Welcome, Dan. Thank you so much for covering, in my absence, of all of these amazing live streams and channel audits that you did for our awesome community. They were all very grateful. I've been sent some personal messages saying Dan and John did such a fantastic job putting in the extra miles and the extra yards to audit those channels. So yeah, big thank you from everybody, Dan, to you.
Thanks. You were getting personal messages?
Yeah. A few people were just saying, we really appreciate Dan and John going to additional lengths, putting them on at a time when I'm awake, because Rob's all self-indulgent and he does it when he's at work. And they all appreciated the extra hard effort that you put in. So yeah, thumbs up from everybody.
Cool. Well, I appreciated looking at their channels. We saw a lot of new people in the streams. We could run the poll again. I always love doing that, asking people if they're new, because it was always over 50% of the people brand new to the stream. So if that's you, welcome, and you're gonna hopefully learn a lot today.
Hopefully you are, as always. At this time of the live stream, I do like to just update you on our journey to 2 million subscribers, but this camera is broken, right? I'm not actually doing that right now. Like, the camera broke about 10 minutes ago. So I can tell you we're at 1.8 million subscribers. That will go up by some undetermined amount. We just don't know. But yes, my camera is broken. So we won't be having any subscriber updates today other than that one you just saw. What we are going to be doing is giving you plenty of updates about your channels, which you've submitted for auditing purposes. And we're going to give you a little intro video. This might be the last time you see this intro video, because I said I was going to redo this video, and I think I'm going to do it this week. So here are 48 seconds of my old studio one last time, in which we show you how this live stream works. Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. If you do return next week, you will see the brand new studio, which you may have seen in some of my videos recently. Finally got it the way I like it, so hopefully you're going to appreciate it as well. This is just a live streaming background, by the way. Just only use this for live streams. And it also reminds me, we're already live. I actually remembered to turn it on before I went live, which is brilliant as well. Or maybe I forgot to turn it off last time.
Probably. You've been live while you've been gone the whole time.
Probably, yeah. Well, that would be concerning, wouldn't it? Super chats. We encourage you to ask your questions via super chat about the YouTube world in general, not very specific questions on your channel, because we won't be able to answer them unless we look specifically at your channel, and we only do that during channel audits. But if you have any general questions about YouTube and you want us to discuss it here and now, do make sure to send in those super chats. Send them in sooner rather than later because we don't want a deluge of questions towards the very end of this live stream. And just as a usual disclaimer, if we see a channel when we're randomly auditing channels that might be a little inappropriate for our universal audience, we'll just apologize and move on. It's nothing specifically against your channel other than we have to think about our audience, much as you should be thinking about your audience when making content. With all that being said, Dan, shall we jump into some channel audits?
Yes.
All right. He says yes. So that's exactly what we will do by auditing our first channel that submitted on the forums this week. That took our interest, and they go by the name of Kelly Kander. Artistic inspiration, advice, and encouragement. Kind of sounds like our channel, but with a, I guess, arts and crafts vibe. So Dan, first impressions, channel banner, the videos, the thumbnails, view counts. What are we seeing here?
Yeah, I really like the style. I think the thumbnails look really nice, well put together, high quality. And this is a really cool look, I think, for an art channel in the sense that like their content is kind of bouncing between like you got your tips and advice video, like color theory for beginners. I have a feeling that one could live on for a while. But then, you have like vlogging, which is that one did pretty well. Let's go urban sketching. So, taking it's not that you're just going to draw, it's that you're going to go to a specific location and draw specific things. There's a lot of, when it comes to the content ideas, a lot of creativity going on here. You can already see some outliers as well. Our tool is highlighting a couple of videos in the middle there that are performing very, very well.
We'll get back to them in a moment because I think that might help with their, I'm going to say specific keyword focus, Dan. But just before we do that, just looking at the thumbnails a little bit, given that this is a craft channel and usually there is an outcome or an output that you're trying to educate your audience on how to do. Do you think, and this I guess is a bit of a loaded question, we're getting enough of the output in the thumbnails, or there's perhaps a bit too much interference, whether it be from the text or like too many colors? I guess that's my point of view, but I'm kind of asking it in a question to you.
Yeah. Like, so one thing, I think there's sometimes like there's something missing. So the urban sketching one, I'll pick on for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I get the idea. It says urban sketching. I know what sketching is. So I'm getting the idea, but I thought it would have been like a little bit cooler. It says draw this. Like, what if you had propped up your canvas and partially the building was drawn?
Yeah.
And you can see the real thing in the background. Like some cool like picture like that would have even demonstrated even more. It would have been an opportunity to even sell your skills more in the thumbnail. And people could go, oh, that's pretty cool. But right now we have to take your word for it, which is fine. When we look at your channel from this angle as a whole, you've proven that, hey, like I'm an excellent artist. But someone looking for the first time, they don't really know what they're getting yet. So I could pick on a couple of these thumbnails in that regard. But I'd say that's a small nitpick. We've seen a lot of art channels and they don't like, I don't know how many videos they've done in their whole history, but like this seems like really good performance given their subscriber size.
Just scrolling down earlier. Oh, well, now this is interesting. Look at how they pivoted. They were doing, I guess you would call the Let's Play video game equivalent of sketchbooking, where they were changing the day, and each of these sketchbooks was a different picture, but then you completely obliterated the picture by putting the day above it. And are people really interested in like a daily vlog when they're interested in how to sketch, draw, create better? And that clearly something that I guess the creator probably learned a lot from, like in terms of YouTube muscle repetition, that sense. But now they've gone into more of this, considering the audience more with their targeting and packaging. So like we really appreciate the pivot they've done there. And it's certainly made a difference on their view counts, which were consistently under 100. And now we're into the hundreds, like sometimes often touching their subscriber count as well. I did have one question. Does this remind you of a certain intro to a sitcom?
It does. Oh my God. Is that the location?
I thought that was a building. You're thinking The Office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that just really reminds me of one of the scenes from The Office, that particular shot.
No, God, please, no, no.
Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. You may see some more Office memes later on. Right, Dan, you noted here our tool. This is the outlier tool. And what it will do is for any video on YouTube, it will determine if this video is performing well for that channel. Like it's an outlier for them to do really well. This video is outperforming the channel average by a factor of 32, which is incredible. So when we sort by most popular, we get all of these outliers. Like this video is performing 87 times above average. And what I noticed with most of these is this particular wording. I'm going to keep. Great. Oh, that's working again.
Okay, you're good.
But as you can see, sketchbook being used in the title seems to match outlier videos.
That's a very good call out, because I was noticing the sketchbook theme, but I wasn't picking up that was like maybe the source of their outlier superpower here. What I think I like about it is that it's a term that seems kind of like we use small channels a lot, right? Like,
yeah,
we feel like our audience is full of
great point, Dan. Yeah,
a lot of people who consider themselves smaller YouTubers, and so we make a lot of videos for small channels. Well, people who draw, they have what? Sketchbooks, and so you're speaking directly to them, and you can almost make a video about anything as long as it has to do with a sketchbook. So I mean, drawing whatever it is. It's not like, oh, I'm not drawing a Spider-Man comic today. I am drawing in my sketchbook, and it happens to be because of this reason, you know. So there's a lot of ways they can play with these titles, and they have to really great success here.
And then just another general observation, it feels like when you use a darker background, so this black table with brighter contrasting images in the foreground.
Looks nice.
It has that nice visual appeal, I would say. And, you know, if we just go to your latest videos, there are a couple of occasions where and maybe this is the creator just saying, okay, I'll do this sketchbook stuff, but there are videos I need to make for me, which might be this urban sketching and this vlog here, and I tried Walt Disney's productive daily routine. I guess what we're saying is there should always be room for any channel and creator to experiment, but know your intrinsic value to your audience as of now, the return viewers, and what's ending up in people's watch history, and just continue to service that part of the audience, which is going to continue to grow your community at large. But there we are. That is Kelly Kander. Unless you've got any more thoughts, Dan, we'll move on to our next channel.
No, we covered it.
Right. I'm going to lie, Dan, this is going to be a difficult one to audit.
Oh, great.
And I've kind of done this on purpose because it might lead to an interesting discussion. It is the first game ever, quite rightly about to be audited, but they are called this channel. Okay.
Okay.
As I understand it, this is a Mandarin language channel, and mostly Mandarin is spoken in China. And so what I thought was interesting about this is that, as I understand it, YouTube is banned in China. However, there are many Chinese people, this is all through very quick research before the live stream, use VPNs to watch YouTube, to the point where there's 250 million people apparently in China watching YouTube, which I thought was interesting in itself, because my first thought was going to be for this channel, maybe you're making a channel for an audience that doesn't exist because YouTube is banned in China, but that's not strictly the case. So is it a case of how a Mandarin speaking audience reacts to, I don't know, a Caucasian male? You know, maybe that is the fact. But I'm saying all of this without being able to do the full research into whether or not there are proven, what I think are gaming horror channels that serve a Mandarin audience on YouTube. So I don't know where you want to start, Dan, but those are all of the questions that were sort of jumping into my head, making this an interesting channel to audit. Because, you know, when you look at the thumbnails, obviously we can't read the titles, but when you look at the thumbnails, they are of a decent, I would say a decent standard. Although they've made a very strong decision with how they tint their face on the thumbnails. But anyway, I've said a lot there. Dive in.
That was the first thing I kind of noticed that was consistent throughout almost every thumbnail. There's a couple exceptions we can see here, but you know what's interesting is, when you look at those exceptions, I'm talking about the top left video and then the video on the bottom left.
Okay, these two here.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that video has more views, and then this
Yeah.
video has more views
Okay.
than a lot of the ones in between those two videos. And so I don't know. I can't just say, oh, the green filter isn't working for you just like that. You know what I mean? But it could be a combination of topics. It could be that like it makes, you know how some people have a channel avatar and they put that in the thumbnail, like it's a cartoony avatar that has nothing to do with the game. It's just their way of branding the channel.
Yeah.
We sometimes talk about how that channel branding gets in the way of the rest of the thumbnail. It's kind of takes away from the message you're trying to communicate. This feels like that. The green tinted face feels like their channel branding, how they've branded their thumbnails. And because you have to take half of your thumbnail and save that space for that branding, is the rest of the messaging getting lost when people look at these thumbnails? You know, they all could be maybe 50% more clear if you didn't have this branding, because it's not just the green tinted face, it's the facial expressions not really changing too much either. Like people joke around about the YouTuber face, but people make those over exaggerated expressions because they play well on camera. And they allow you to contort your face in ways that make it seem like you're reacting, you're laughing, you're scared. You know, with horror channels, you could do all kinds of stuff. You could like take your hands over your face and like look out of one eye like you're really scared, or like just there's so many things you do. But this creator tends to just kind of use their eyebrows, and they're not really like doing a lot of facial expressions in like a niche that I think would require that. So it could be that. It could be the green tint would work fine, but it's just people aren't getting that sense of urgency from the expression. So I can only look at thumbnails right now.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand any of the titles. But it is interesting that those two videos have more views on their own than these ones in between, and they don't have that branding.
I'm curious if it's worth just putting this text in a search just to see. So it is auto completing. So there are clearly searches going on YouTube for whatever is contained in this text. And then when we look here, there are view counts in the tens of thousands, one here with 1 million. So again, my like instinctive thought of, oh, I don't know if this is going to work on YouTube. That is wrong. There is an audience here. There's even a live stream here that's ranking from a couple of days ago. So there's clearly an audience on YouTube for this content of this description. But as you say, Dan, we're losing a lot in translation.
Yes.
I guess what we could ask is here, and I'm not even sure of this, is, you know, when we talk about a gaming channel, is it covering a similar game and it's able to create a through line or a thread? I can't tell if this person is playing the same game. I see Poppy playtime a couple of times and some images which are kind of similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, a game me showing my complete lack of knowledge about that game, kind of guessing.
I didn't know what most of the games were except for the Poppy one, because that was pretty obvious.
And yeah, when you say that's obvious, this kind of extends out the idea of having to decode a thumbnail. Like we can decode some of these thumbnails instantly because of the visualization, but we can't, some of the thumbnails we can't decode at all because we're not familiar with the game and like we can't read the text. So again, that instinctive recognition is something that even we can pick out in some of these thumbnails. Like we've obviously got a horror game based on
Steamboat Willie.
Oh, what was it? Steamboat Willie. Yeah, I was trying to remember what the original name was here. And there's obviously some sort of horror game going on here that takes place in a plane. But then this one with a map, I'm not sure. This one with a gun pointing at something, but I can't really see what it's pointing at.
Oh, I didn't even see the gun.
Yeah. So I'm not suggesting here that the creator should just start removing the Mandarin text and whatever, but it's just a good evidence again of how, even though these thumbnails, objectively speaking, are well produced, how well are they understood very quickly is a challenge.
Yeah.
But having said all that, Dan, they're approaching 1,000 subscribers, even though their most popular video is 700 views. So that's interesting in itself. They haven't had any viral moments, but they're still building an audience. They're experimenting with shorts as well. And, you know, I'll just click on one of these videos very quickly. Maybe let's pick that one. Hopefully there's going to be no gore on here. But I assume you can hear this, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it's well edited. They've put a lot of time into this, trying to build up tension and such. So that was a hook, that was a tease. And again, I think they're using captions on the videos as well to help. So there's the production values here seem very high, but they're just lacking traction.
It's that, and I think this most popular video, I will say, green branding aside, the thumbnail looks a little more intriguing to me. You know, there's a couple things over your shoulder that probably speak to the game you're playing.
Right.
Whereas the one next to it, there's a lot more text bubbles, and it's very, very text reliant. So yeah, I don't know. I think thumbnails are something this creator should definitely keep working on. But I can't say editing. Editing looks good. Yeah. I can't say titles because I can't read them. But I think this is like I think there's a solid foundation here.
And this is the proof, folks, that we will audit channels of any type and description.
Yeah.
We'll give it our best shot. And we hope luofande, I'm saying that from their channel handle, you found that of use. And just some general observations about, sometimes the packaging needs to go beyond somebody's language to like really get that instinctive aha moment to understand what the video is about. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to something, Dan, a little more friendly and something you probably hopefully know a little bit about because you picked this channel before we went live. It's TKG Bricktronics. And first of all, you've hit 1,000 subscribers as a YouTube Shorts channel. Excellent work, sir. Let's dive in. What have you got to tell us?
I saw this channel and like, now keep in mind, I'm looking at this on the vidIQ account, and I kind of had to double check to make sure I wasn't on mine because I've been seeing a lot of shorts with really impressive Lego builds. I'm like, why? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is one that I can imagine getting pushed this channel is what I'm trying to say because they're doing similar things. I wish I could remember the name of the channel. I think it starts with a Z, but there's these shorts I'm getting, these incredible builds. Obviously, like at some kind of convention hall where someone walks around and shows them, but really intricate mechanical Lego builds. Massive too. This channel is doing that on a small scale. And if you click on any of these, you'll start to get the point. You can just scroll through them. They're all the same where they're always like a little handle or something they can turn. And
right. Okay. Lego built, I assume as well. That's pretty cool.
Everything's Lego built. And you can I would scroll to the next one and the next one. It's just these really, nonsensical contraptions. And there's different sounds they pair with them and music sometimes. Like, Ow. Yeah, sometimes they loop really well.
Very nice.
Very nice. Best example of that. But yeah, it's kind of like, why make this? It doesn't matter. It's impressive. Like if you have Lego and you're building with it, you kind of look at it and go, oh wow, this is like for what it does. It's like a lot of work that went into this.
And the visually, I just think across the board, this is like, has this rolled over yet? I don't know.
It probably has.
It probably has, and we just don't know. I can't see the cut. That is I think the cut was there. That is very, very well done. What I like about this is that this whole environment of a short is emphasizes Lego. I say that through the backgrounds. Like,
yes.
When we go back to the channel, like, I know these aren't thumbnails, but you get immediately when you jump into the video, the first couple of seconds, like, oh, this is something about Lego, which is cool. And then, Dan, I think what you rightly point out here is what sets this channel apart is the uniqueness. Who else is building these contraptions on YouTube?
Yeah.
And in a very loopy way. Yeah. And this reminds me of Jake Feldman, the way he used to loop his 3D Minecraft animations.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And these have a good amount of views. These are just the most recent ones. I like the one in the middle the most, Lego Cursed Temple, the one with the lightning. This was my favorite, mostly because it tells like a tiny story, right? The Lego guy goes in, and he comes out the other side,
and then he goes back. So that's a loop. They've just rewound it.
Yeah,
there was a little cut. Interesting. Yeah.
So really, really like, I'm sure these don't take an insignificant amount of time to make, right? They have to build the contraption. The filming is probably the filming is probably the fastest part.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're adding a little saturation and stuff, just making it pop a little more. If any of these scrolled on my shorts feed, I would spend a few seconds watching.
Yeah, I'm somewhat mesmerized, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I could watch every single one of these because they're cool. Like, it's just impressive what they're doing. And yeah, that one I don't quite understand. So sometimes they're going to be more clear than other times.
Yeah.
But all the creator has to do is look at their most popular ones and then ask themselves, like, why was this one more popular? And I would say, like, the skeleton one I liked, I understood everything that was happening. And some of the ones that they've made, I didn't quite get them as much. So the less nuance, the better is probably the strategy to grow here. I would just keep making these and like getting in people's, shorts watch history more and more. And before you know it, you're getting recommended alongside the channels that are Lego Discovery builders. There's a couple of like really popular people who like work at Lego Discovery and they do shorts all the time. I've been watching them, and then I got pushed these other ones with people go to a convention hall full of massive Lego builds. And I wouldn't be surprised if this one popped up next on my own channel, on my shorts feed, because I just watch stuff like this all the time.
I feel as if this creator has a viral idea of making these cool Lego / Technic contraptions that visually loop.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, because like all we've done is praise this creator, why haven't they gone viral yet?
Right.
That's the question we got to ask ourselves.
Yeah. I think it could be something that could be very interesting is if they start to try and jump on some trends, like pop culture stuff, and make a silly looping short about something very popular. That could help a lot. Like I don't even know what's popular right now in movies and stuff. Let's just say back when the Barbie movie was like Barbageddon, like what if you had made some kind of like dual contraption that displayed both movies in a funny mechanical way? I don't know. Like any Barbenheimer, that's what it was.
Deadpool.
Armageddon. Deadpool. Yeah.
Deadpool is on the way. We know there's a great relationship between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and the two characters. What could you do that you release a short based on that, like, I don't know, 2 days before the film is released or something like that?
Yes. Like just something like get like Wolverine, like uppercutting Deadpool, into a little contraption or something, like some silly contraption for that movie. That's a great idea. And I would keep doing stuff like that because we talk about total addressable market all the time. Like for this content, anyone could appreciate whether they collect Lego or not. So
yeah,
you can get more people interested if you speak to their interests a bit more. I love that these are original creations. You're not relying on Marvel IP or anything. Oh, there's a Wolverine. Never mind. Wolverine Deadpool. It's right there. Wait a minute. They did it already.
They've tried it. When was it released? I guess is the question.
This one looks like stop motion. Oh, no, it's not. That's pretty funny. Do more of that. Do like 5 of those.
Do more killing of Wolverine. Yes.
Yeah, let Wolverine have some revenge now. Maybe tell a story throughout like 5 different shorts.
But December the 31st. So
okay.
Maybe the timing wasn't right. Like maybe if that was released around the Super Bowl time when the first trailer came out.
Yeah. So there's just, I would keep playing with that, but you're not relying solely on IP. You're also just doing really unique original builds, and I think that's awesome. I think this creator has a ton of talent, and YouTube is secondary to that talent. And what I mean is a lot of people have something they're really, really good at, but the YouTube stuff comes after that. And that unique skill set is what's going to carry this channel. So it's now it's time for them to like continue studying some YouTube strategy. Like you have this part down. So what can you do to improve? And that's our recommendation. I also think for long form videos or live streams, better yet, you could maybe build these contraptions on a live stream and really start to talk to your audience. You'd be surprised. Like I grew a channel that was purely a shorts channel. And when I wanted to pivot to making longer form content, I didn't pivot by making long form videos. I made live streams. And I was so shocked when like I was getting tens of thousands of views on my shorts and stuff, hadn't made any long form videos. I was shocked that my first live stream had like 50 concurrent viewers. I couldn't believe it. I was expecting 2, and it was like 50. And then the next one had like 70. And then I was up to 100. And it was all just like, I was in enough people's watch history by that point. So I would say if they're looking to branch out a little bit more, and we just interviewed Mark from Guinea Pig Adventures, and he said the same exact thing. Like I do live streams actually, and he tries to incorporate his guinea pigs however he can, but he gets a lot of viewers, even though he's primarily a shorts creator.
Great channel. You know what I forgot to do, Dan? I forgot to do self-indulgent gaming corner, which I'm supposed to do every week. But since we have just done a Lego channel, I thought we'd for 1 week, do self-indulgent Lego build corner.
Okay.
To find out how many people actually build Lego on a regular basis. So Dan, why don't you share with everybody the last piece of Lego you bought, and I'll be back in a second because I want to show everybody something.
But okay, no one to engage with here. I got a whole setup for the holidays. I thought it'd be fun instead of like, decorating with, oh, we'll get a Christmas tree and all this stuff. We had that too, but I got an entire like village, like all the Christmas stuff they were selling at the time. So that was fun. That's the last thing I did though. I don't really have a lot of Lego. I was talking about my Christmas village. That's what I did. I haven't really got any Lego. You know what I did actually? No, I did. See these? These are Lego plants. Do you see my finger? Rob, can you even hear me?
Sorry, I'm being distracted by somebody to my left, right. Well, hang on, what are we looking at here?
These are Lego plants. That's the last thing I built.
Ah, right. Well, it's funny you should say that because
hey,
we also just built some Lego plants while we were on vacation. These were a Valentine's Day present, finally constructed. And yeah, this is one thing. But my personal build recently, over the last week, was I couldn't really find any pieces of Lego that I wanted to build that weren't either too big, because I've already filled the house with big Lego stuff, or too expensive. Well, what I found was from Oxford Bricks, right? Heard of them, right? Oxford Bricks. What's it called? The USS Missouri. And this is a ship that you can go on in Hawaii as a museum. It's now a museum, a floating museum.
Oh.
And so that's something we did a few years ago. So I thought I'd build this. And yeah, look how detailed it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this was about 1,000 pieces, roughly. And it wasn't too bad. It was about $60. So it wasn't too expensive. Oh, and now a bit's just fallen off.
Well, now you get to rebuild it.
I'll have to rebuild that bit.
So the reason we do this, I talked about this before, but for anyone who's new, the reason we take a break real quick is because I think of this as a great way to encourage you guys to take breaks from creating content. Well, Rob does not have a Lego channel. I don't have a Lego channel. And it's something we can do that does not help us obsess over YouTube even more. And doing things that give you dopamine, and that helps recharge your creative batteries. You take a break, you do something fun that brings you joy, and then you come back to creating videos, and you tend to find that you're way more creative doing that. So definitely, I encourage everyone here to find a hobby that they enjoy that has nothing to do with turning on a camera or editing a video, and just really like fill your brain with dopamine that has like away from trying to get a 1 out of 10 on YouTube.
Could not agree more. That's wonderful advice, Dan. Wonderful advice. Let's audit another channel then. Let's get straight back into this. That is just a fighter jet going past. If you hear it, I do apologize. We are auditing a channel called A Girl and Her Passport. And this is just evidence that we sometimes return to audit channels, because I think we audited this channel maybe about 6 months ago. I do have a vague memory. But they submitted. They hit 10,000 subscribers just recently. So first of all, congratulations on that. They're now what I would call, Dan, like a veteran creator at this point. If they've got 10,000 subscribers, 250 videos, and at this point, over 1 million views, YouTube is a little more than their passion now, I'd say. They love doing what they're doing. Of course, I'm going to make another YouTube video. That's kind of the attitude they have. So it now becomes a question of, can they turn their passion into something maybe a little more sustainable? Like if they just want to create content so they have a little money on the side from YouTube, or maybe turn it into a business, etc., etc. So this channel is getting thousands of views per video. They've got a sizable subscriber count. Here's where they're currently at. What do you think? Just gauging their thumbnails and their titles.
I like the advice approach for some of these videos. I think there's definitely like some of them where they're just like, I'm out of place. But the latest one was like Acropolis Tickets, What You Need to Know. Now I think that one did really well, and it's only been 4 days, so it could continue doing well. The only thing I'm thinking, as someone who has never traveled abroad before, is it hard to get Acropolis tickets? And I've never asked myself that question, but like if I was going to that area, I would think like, oh yeah, just go online and buy tickets. If there is a problem, I almost wonder, like a problem, but like a challenge there. I almost wonder if there could have been a better title that speaks to that challenge even more. Like, buying Acropolis tickets harder than you think, or something like that. Don't touch it now. It's doing good.
Yeah.
But that is like the first question I have is like, isn't it just as easy as going on a thing and buying a ticket?
I know what you're trying to say. Like maybe it's very expensive, or the conventional ways of getting a ticket mean you've got to be in line for hours at this.
Yeah.
Or like maybe as an equivalent, somebody buying Taylor Swift tickets. Like that's really hard to do probably, and there's probably techniques and tactics to do it. So the Acropolis is probably a very popular tourist attraction in Greece, and there's ways and means to get those tickets more efficiently. And as you say, Dan, you're right. When this creator is in what I would call a utility mode, where they're helping their audience understand this place that they have intimate knowledge of, their channel really does flourish. And that can be seen in the most popular ones. Again, using vidIQ's tool, where we see the big outliers, all the things you should know before traveling to Greece, how to plan a trip to Greece, all the things you need to know about Greek ferries. Like these are all like benchmark staple videos you would do about traveling to a place. What I would advise at this point is, given the age of our videos, 3 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old, they're all over a year old. And we're getting to a point in the year where people are thinking about where they're going to travel to in the summer. So if it was me and this channel, Dan, what I would be thinking is remake these videos with the extended, the better knowledge I have of these topics, the updates I have about these topics from the years since I made these videos. And let's get them out there in the next like 6 weeks.
That is like a tried and true suggestion for this creator. Now, I want to give a out of left field, oh my gosh, Dan, what are you doing right now suggestion.
All right, here we go.
I'm all for creators testing things, right? So look up Ryan Trahan real quick, because this just happened. It's pretty relevant to this creator. Ryan Trahan's latest video was him exploring this one right here. I tried to sleep in airport sleep pods, and he went all over the world for this video. Now, I'm not suggesting you do that, but if sleep pods are like a trend, maybe you can do a video like testing sleep pods in Greece or something like that. Now, will it get more views or less views than what you're already doing? I don't know. It's a bit outside of what you're doing now, but I think as a test, it's interesting to see these really big channels like doing things that are getting a lot of views. He's kind of putting sleep pods on a lot of people's minds. So if someone is about to travel for the summer, they could be thinking like, okay, Ryan Trahan just kind of did a silly video about these sleep pods. Is there anyone else talking about them in a more like serious way? Not like in a Ryan Trahan, hey, I'm doing like a challenge, you know, more of like no, like this is a real thing people do. Are they worth it? Can you actually get good sleep in them? Are they clean? Like, I kind of wonder if you can like jump on some of those more like interesting travel trends on your channel and do a video about sleep pods or something similar. Now, I would say this is a test because this is not the kind of content you're currently doing. And I would only do maybe one of these videos in between other uploads once in a while. So just in case, because if it flops, nothing's going to happen to your channel unless you go full Ryan Trahan sleep pod like channel overnight, and none of them do well. But I would suggest it as a test because I didn't even think about sleep pods until I saw that video. And I'm like, oh, if I ever travel, I know this is a thing I could use if I'm have like an 18-hour layover somewhere or something like that.
I think this creator is open to those ideas. Well, the idea of not just doing videos about how to travel to Greece. There's, what would you call these? The opposite of an outlier is maybe like an underperformer. They tasted tacos in Dallas. So quite a departure from what they usually do. Video didn't perform as well. They went to Doha and lived there for 2 weeks in a hotel. Video did all right, maybe slightly underperforming, but still fine. Yeah. But Dan, as you say, like I think this channel does have permission to do these experiments because this was just a transfer in a London airport, and that is an outlier for the channel as well in the most recent sense.
Yeah, and I want to point to this comment real quick. Big channels, whatever they post will get views anyway, Dan. Yes. Now, if you believe that, that's fine. I'm not arguing that. But millions of people saw that video. Millions of those, like not millions, many of those people probably travel. And now you have a lot more people who just learned something. Okay. That's why you jump on trends. Like a large creator drawing attention to something is how a trend starts. You know what I mean? So don't think, oh, we can't do that because Ryan Trahan did it first. No. Like Ryan Trahan drew somebody's attention to something they did not know about, like me. So now they want to go to more trusted sources who are taking travel a little more serious. Not that he's not. It's just that he's not a travel tutorial channel. He's an entertainment channel. but you can take an idea that somebody had and go, I can expand on this topic. So you're mining for ideas here. I'm not saying this person's going to get 1 million views because Ryan Drahan did. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I think people get really caught up on like, oh, the size of the channel, Dan's advice invalid. No. Like, look what these channels are doing for you potentially.
Let's maybe talk a bit about the thumbnails, Dan. What I would give these kind of like maybe a 5.5 out of 10. Like, they're slightly better than the distinctly average thumbnail, but there is still potentially work that could be done on these because it is generally just scene of Greece, text, sometimes a little bit too difficult to read, plonked on the thumbnail and positioned somewhere.
I think there could be some, lighting a little bit could be considered a bit more. The text is easier to read in some thumbnails than others, like the 2 weeks here, because of the background changing thanks to the headboard. It's little details like that. February in Greece is hard to read. A black stroke could fix a lot of this on the text, just something to help it pop, a darker shadow. Greece travel looks nice. So some of these where the text is in the sky looks pretty good, but you want it to be easy to read and understand. I'm also a fan of vlog style thumbnails where it does look like they're just holding their camera walking somewhere, but I do think you could still go in and edit those a bit more to brighten up your face a little bit more, to kind of maybe cut yourself out and separate yourself from the background by blurring the background a bit more. Like there's more that could be done here. And then, like almost missed my flight. Like a reaction face and then like a window is interesting, but could there have been a other element here, a plane taking off instead? Or I don't know, like there's other ways to communicate the message. You know what I mean?
Think you're right. I think you're right there, Dan. Each of them is missing maybe one element. Like we talk about the Acropolis tickets. You know, an element could be added there of like the cost or the time it takes to get the tickets. Gas station tacos. We kind of know what might be missing from that one. Like there's a big blob of non-space here. Could you be
where's the
holding
taco?
Where's the taco? Yeah. Greece travel.
You should get the taco, hold it, and blur it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I got distracted. Could you have like a plane flying off in the background or something?
Yeah.
Like, there's maybe opportunities not to make the thumbnail more complicated, but to add maybe an extra communicative layer on the thumbnail.
Yes.
But hey, a girl on her passport. I've always loved the channel name of this this channel. 10,000 subscribers, over 1 million views. You're doing things right. We're just trying to help guide and push you towards that continued route of success. So well done to you.
Pixelate it. Yeah. Pixel effects are funny. It's like a comedic element. You're saying gas station taco. What's the first thing anyone thinks of? Is it any good? Blur it out. Pixels.
All right. I'm going to
Sorry, I really love that idea.
In the background. We'll chill out a little bit because we're going to do some super chats. The reason I'm a bit distracted is for some reason, I think this is a browser problem, Dan. You're about 3 seconds delayed on the video. Like audio-wise, you're fine, but I don't know.
Not that way to me.
I'm not going to worry about it.
And you've been cutting out, so I don't know what's happening.
Is that right? Oh, well,
not
maybe
your audio's good, but you keep like it's like herky-jerky sometimes.
Is that right? Can people on the live stream see that as well? I might have to refresh my browser, but I will just leave Dan fending for himself for a few seconds. Anyway, we'll do the super chats first. And so, as always, our super chats are sponsored by vidIQ one-on-one coaching. What you're about to experience is a light version of what would happen if you had your own coach here at vidIQ, where you would ask some questions through video, not through text, and they would then reply to your questions about your channel, which they will have more knowledge than us about. They will spend dedicated time understanding you, your audience, and your channel, and help guide you along the way with answers to the questions that might be like this or not, because some of them, of course, are just super chats, like JGT with the 80p super chats. Maybe there was a super sticky. Sometimes StreamYard gives the full story of the super chats, but this one from RBX Fam starts like this. Friends channel started 3 years ago with 200 subs. Are they able to monetize if they reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, or do they have to restart? So, in terms of subscribers, no. You can spend as long as you want getting 1,000 subscribers. When it comes to watch time, it is any watch time on the channel in any way, shape, or form in terms of like videos on demand. What else has it done? I'm trying to remember. I've kind of given away too much.
Live streams.
Live streams that go into video on demand, etc., etc. I'll rephrase that. Any public watch time in the last 12 months. So like your video could have been made 10 years ago, but if somebody watches it today, then that watch time counts. So any watch time of any description on any videos on your channel that's gained over the last 12 months does count. So they don't have to restart, but they probably still have a lot of work to do. And of course, you can get 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps answer the question.
Yeah, it's a moving window. April 1st of 2023 now no longer counts. So every day it's going to shift another day. It's a moving window. As long as you get the hours within this moving time frame, you're good.
Yeah. I've tried to figure out a better way to describe that, Dan, but you're right. It's like it's always a moving window. Whatever is today's date, roll back 365 days. That's what counts.
Yeah.
Next question. Pushed Lemon. Thank you. I guess for the audit live stream.
Yeah, we audited them the last stream.
I was the Minecraft channel that posts every 2 months suggestions for a good pop culture MC build. I think we just mentioned one, Deadpool, right?
Deadpool's one. So yeah, that I'm trying to think. I would look back and see if there are any more. Are there any really popular Marvel ones that have been done in the past? Or because I think they were doing some Harry Potter stuff that did very well for them. But obviously, like right now, people aren't really. That's not on people's minds. They are making a new TV show, I think, for HBO Max. So that will come back, and those old videos could get views. A new one could get views. So you're known for that. But maybe the next time a Game of Thrones season drops.
Yeah, House of the Dragon, that's due soon.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd be thinking about very, very, very popular media like that. You don't have to limit yourself. Marvel's easy because they always have something coming out. But yeah.
Sorry, I pressed the button a bit too early there, Dan, but
you're fine.
You got your answer out.
Yeah.
Design Burst asks, the streak continues, is it okay to put a picture of Mr. Beast in the thumbnail and take screenshots of his videos? We plan to make a video analyzing and remodeling his room.
Oh.
Sounds like a fantastic idea to me, and it also sounds transformative to me. Mm-hmm. So I think you would be fine. We've used Mr. Beast screenshots and videos and clips in our video analysis in the past because we feel it's educational and transformative. And I would assume, given how often you ask these questions, Design Burst, you are going to be on the right side of transforming that content. So
not legal advice.
I would be saying. And also, you know, Mr. Beast is a creator as well. And I think he welcomes the idea of sharing content if it's done in a transformative way. But yeah, as Dan says, we're not copyright experts either. Alex Kraz, I want to try and pronounce this right, Dan. Krasveskis.
And we got worse every time.
We tried. Hi, gents. Your honest feedback on the direction of this small and new pop-up book review channel would be very appreciated at Mr. Fun. So maybe you'll be picked randomly, but as we say, super chats do not guarantee you a channel audit, but we do appreciate you joining the live stream and posting that message. Oliver and Matt Smith's Get About. As a pizza making channel, 1,500 subscribers, I'm struggling with thumbnails. I find it difficult to make them stand out. Any advice on how to improve them?
I would say, without looking at the thumbnails, I would say spend some time on watching the tutorials for the software you use to make the thumbnails. Even if you feel like I'm pretty good at Photoshop or whatever it is, like you might pick up some tips that will help you work faster and more efficiently. And like sometimes I learned things from tutorials that the creator didn't even intend to teach me because they use a shortcut or something that I just never even considered, and they use it like it's second nature. So that's what I would be doing, and that's how I kind of try to improve my thumbnails. And then you could also look at other people's thumbnails. And what I would do is, if you see one you like, do your best to recreate it. And it's going to come out different because you're going to use a different pizza, different camera angles, different people probably. But like you challenge yourself, and that's how you get 1% better every time. Like don't hold yourself to this standard we're seeing right here, because maybe that's just way above your skill set right now. But if you challenge yourself to try, you're going to learn something new. And every time you make a thumbnail going forward, if you keep challenging yourself, before you know it, you will be at this standard. But it just takes an actual effort to like try to see what's working and then say, I like that thumbnail. How could I recreate that for my video? And it will look inherently different, and you'll also learn a lot.
Looks as if maybe a dark background, like some really decent lighting on the pizza itself, so that it almost has that, dare I say it, plasticky look. Like the pizza probably shouldn't look like that in real life, but you know, like in adverts, like especially for McDonald's and pizza, the food just looks so shiny, or in the, I guess, the marketing, it makes it irresistible. So those techniques, learn how to do that a little bit. I think the one that really jumped out to me when I was just first scrolling was this one. There's always that moment of, I'm taking a slice out of a pizza, but then this 101 kind of made it a little intriguing as well, because that's kind of like, I guess that means basics, absolute basics of how to make a pizza. And that was pretty cool as well. So there's some general bits of advice. We have memberships here at vidIQ, which mean that you can use our amazing and incredible exclusive emojis. Maybe you have used the very famous yes emoji. I don't know. You tell us via the emojis in the chat. And some of those people have become new members to use those emojis. And as a result, they get unique sound effects to go along with those emojis. So we welcome Dean Boy TV News, who gets the following sound effect exclusively for them this week. It's a classic one. And also Scratch and Spoon Lotto, who will be simply referred to as, Dan, do it again, a comical fart noise.
Yeah.
You only have to use them for a week, so don't worry. You won't be labeled with that going forward. Scratch and Spoon Lotto. But for today, you are... Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
CBT8. Why do some of my shorts blow up and the rest flop? You could ask that question to every single creator about all of their content.
Yeah. It's because some of your shirts are good and some of them are not. No, we don't have them in front of us. We don't know. I think it does come down to, though, like some things, when someone scrolls to it, it resonates with them pretty quickly. Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's kind of like thumbnails. It's about making something that when people see it, they immediately know what's going on. It's a challenge. It's hard to do, but I would say that you should continue trying and don't be discouraged by a short that doesn't do well. Just go on to your next one. Trying to let it get you down too much, because that's how you improve, is just by comparing. Eventually, after you have 100 shorts out, you can compare and contrast the ones that did well and the ones that didn't.
Maybe for your next short, for the next short that does really well, the short that you make after that, just try remaking that short, but like it's a different object that you're using, or a different joke, or you're going to recreate 95% of it, but there's 5% of it's going to be different. And just experiment with that kind of execution and concept. We got a super chat here from Mr. Fred's DIY Garage School. Nearly $5. Nearly $5. So it just wasn't enough. Instead, Modern Homeschooling Ali, who did give us $5. I don't know if that makes a difference. How many subs/views would you be getting before doing a live stream? What if no one watches? Just keep talking and hope they show up.
If no one watches, assume you are recording a video. Yep. Because if you leave it on your channel afterwards, it will show up as a video. That's the nice thing about YouTube versus Twitch. On Twitch, it's even more awkward because the streams don't tend to go anywhere after you're done. But on YouTube, they can. If you're getting... I wouldn't put a number on it, really. Like, I talked earlier about shorts and how I was getting tens of thousands of views, and then I had 50 concurrent viewers, which was very exciting. You see now we're a channel with 1.8 million subscribers. We have almost 700 people watching. So live streams will just not get anywhere near your sub count. But if you're getting regularly hundreds of views, I expect you'll get a pretty decent turnout of maybe 10 to 20 people, on your live stream. But that's very, very, very rough numbers, and you're not guaranteed anything. So go into it with notes and a plan to treat it like a recording session. And then if you get a live chat going, you can kind of start to deviate from those notes a little bit and play off of their energy.
I would say if you're thinking of doing a live stream, irrespective of channel size or whatever, just do one. Because what you'll soon find out, and this is guaranteed to happen on your first live stream, is that stuff will go wrong.
Yep.
Technically, it will likely be a disaster. You in front of camera without a script, that'll be nerve-wracking. Believe you me, this live stream is just like a block of Jenga variables.
Yep.
And if one thing goes wrong, as you've seen, this happens. And you just got to get used to it and like go with the flow. Because live streams are both a lot of fun, but for first-time live streamers, when things go wrong, they get like really self-conscious and they almost like just want to quit the live stream there and then. And you kind of want to get past that fear of things going wrong, and you almost want to implement and incorporate it into the live streams themselves. And then you can start to build on it. Like, again, although this looks like everything is seamless, I think it's taken Dan and I like 3 or 4 years to get it running like this, where it seems like everything's going fine. But believe you me, stuff still goes wrong, stuff gets broken. Like, as I said earlier, Dan is like 5 seconds behind me on a live stream, so I can't really see what he's saying and doing, but I'm just having to go with it. I'm having to go with the flow. Right, fantastic question though. Love it. Around the world with MAM, 40 THBs. I don't know what currency that is. I hope it's worth millions and millions of dollars, but if it isn't, we appreciate the super chat. Anyway, Quiet Cricket ASMR. Oh, I thought this was going to be a Cricket the Sport ASMR channel, but apparently not.
Oh.
In my niche, I heard the money per view is less. Is that true? ASMR was not obvious by ASMR. If that was not obvious, by the way, okay.
Okay, so they feel like ASMR channels make a lot of money. Okay, so think of this on like just a regular business, human business level. You're a marketing team and you're trying to think about who you want to market to. ASMR channels, it depends on what they're doing. Like if it's ASMR crickets, like cricket noises, let's just like play off that idea for a minute. You're probably not going to make as much money as an ASMR channel that talks into a microphone and they actually like share things about their life and stuff, because there's no room for advertising there. Like you can't. How are you supposed to sell when the it's like we have no idea what kind of audience you're kind of drawing in. It's such a probably mishmash of people. So I'm guessing here. I don't know how this stuff works, but I might make an educated assumption that like it depends on what kind of ASMR you're doing. And oh yeah, I don't make a lot of money because it's really difficult for YouTube's marketing tools to target like, well, who exactly watches your content? Okay, well, people who like Mr. Beast watch it, people who like cycling content watch it, people who like video games watch it. How do we target for this? So that could be going on. Another thing that can happen is like the Minecraft niche is so popular, it doesn't make a lot of money because there's too many people doing it. So there's a lot of different things, but it usually comes down to just that simple logic of like how can somebody use your content to target the audience they want to target? And so tech niche makes a ton of money because it's like these people have wallets and they're ready to pull them out and buy something expensive. So we're going to show our ads on those videos and we're going to pay those creators a lot for the privilege. Also, the last thing that a viewer wants in the middle of an ASMR experience or like guided meditation or similar is an advert that just takes them out of the moment. So consider that as well. 24 hours of rain noise and then you're suddenly woken up by, some advertisement.
We've got a new member called Cali Plains. They're going to get this sound effect today. If you don't know what that sound effect is, then you're not in on the joke, unfortunately. You need to watch our historical live streams to understand it.
Or just hang out for a while.
And Severlight Gaming has been a member for 10 months, still waiting for the Dan's cat emojis.
I know.
But in the meantime...
Yeah. There you go.
We have that.
Yeah.
We've nearly done all of the super chats. This is brilliant. Cracky. I have been struggling with ideas. Have you got tips? We've made several videos on how to come up with ideas. So do a search for vidIQ video ideas. We've also got a tool, a daily ideas tool that will help you with coming up with ideas. It scans your channel and then gives you, I think, up to 50 video ideas a day. So make sure to download vidIQ if you haven't already got that. And Dan, have you got a spark of inspiration that comes out on video ideas?
Look at channels similar to yours and see what they're up to. Not to do exactly what they're doing, but put yourself in kind of research mode. Take a break from recording mode and put yourself in research mode and just it takes a while. Like I get it. I can totally relate to this problem. You could use our tools and you could just start to immerse yourself more in the space on YouTube that you happen to reside in.
Right, we'll leave the super chats there. We do have a couple more, but we'll tackle them a little later. So, if you're going to send your super chats in, probably send them in the next 20 minutes. Allows us to address them in the second hour of this live stream. But we're going to go back to channel audits now. And let me just do a huge shout out as normal to Victoria, our community manager, who has been busy in Discord this week, and she wanted to ask the community to show off their hook skills. And we're not talking about fishing or anything like that. We're talking about the first 10 to 15 seconds of your video and how it hooks the viewer into the rest of the video. And that's what Victoria was encouraging you to share in your videos. And we do have a winner, Dan, which I'm going to show you the first 15 seconds of this video to show how well they executed on hook. And then we'll audit their channel. So what we're looking at here is how would you say that? Fantation?
Fantation.
But you obviously want to say Fanta because that's the drink. Anyway.
And then the logo, yeah.
The title is The Different Kinds of YouTubers, and this is their hook.
I just put 1,006 of dynamite into my friend's Toyota Sienna, and we're gonna see how he reacts. What did you put in my car?
So that was the intro. Dan liked it. So
I like
guess
that
you're
video.
hooked. I guess it kind of delivers on the packaging, doesn't it? Here's the thumbnail, by the way. Just another tool that you can get with vidIQ, by the way.
Where's the views on this? 9 days ago. Okay, it still's time. This video needs many more views.
Dan's obviously a fan, so
yeah.
A fan of Fantation, I don't know. Let's look at the videos, Dana, and what they're up to here. Welcome to my Mr. Beast challenge. I admire Mr. Beast, and I'm testing a theory. If I follow Mr. Beast's footsteps, can I have a successful YouTube channel? So they're being straight and honest that they are, I guess, trying to replicate Mr. Beast's success in all shapes and sizes.
It's interesting. I think the latest video is the best example of it, but it's more of a parody, and what a timely parody as well. Like some people are noticing just how, I'm just going to use the word ridiculous, YouTube intros have gotten in some cases, in some spots on YouTube, right? And you're just like kind of drawing attention to it, poking fun of it. And I feel like there's a whole series you could do like this, where you know, comically pick on other YouTubers and certain YouTube tropes, which there are now plenty of. So I think that's really cool. I think the thing with that video is it needs some more time in the YouTube algorithm. Also, I would say the comedic timing is something just keep working on, because the one spot where I got a little confused is what was happening is there wasn't any transition between I'm gonna see what my friend thinks of this, and then we hear the friend in the background. You could have had some footsteps, you could have had like a door opening in the car or the engine starting, some sound effects. It was missing one element there it took my brain an extra like turn to go, oh, there's another fake person now. Okay, got it. Everything else was flawless. I loved it. But yeah, when we're talking about hooks and stuff, I have to pick on it a little bit harder, and that was my only critique. And comedic timing is what's going to be the thing for your channel that really like sets it into the stratosphere. So I would keep like practicing those things and think to yourself, like, what, like, edit the video and then come back to it later and watch it again and go, all right, I'm a new viewer, I'm watching this for the first time. Is there any point that I can make what I'm trying to say a little more clear? And like, that's what I needed, is like some sound effects. I needed to hear that other person or see them in some way.
What I would also add, Dan, is that skits, comedy, entertainment channels sometimes have difficulty getting noticed and recognized because they are kind of sharing their own comedy and stuff, but they've tried to tie it into YouTube culture. And so that gives it more of a bigger total addressable market, as we've mentioned in the past. I think continuing to go down that route as well is a great idea.
I would say one more thing. The thumbnail could have been a split screen. And this is where the thumbnail testing tool would have been great, because you could have done this thumbnail, and I would have tried one that was a split screen of like the Mr. Beast face one, and then and then something that's a little more just that everyone's seen, but a little more tame or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could have been one idea too.
Going into the history of the channel, they were clearly for a good year or so a gaming reacts channel, or let's see, some longer videos and reacting to the games that they're playing, right up until I would say a month ago, when they've now transitioned into this more entertainment style stuff. And there's been an immediate return on that investment in terms of views. The first one got 300. We got this outlier here, Dan, 7,000 views, which is incredible. I guess Shall we watch just the first 10 to 15 seconds of this? Oh, hang on.
What is up, Fantation Nation? My name is Fantation, and today we are going to be doing our very first interview. Now, today is a very special video because we have a very special guest. He's a popular newcomer from the YouTube channel Shiloh and Bros. If you are a fan of gaming and
This is
comedy,
just taking a little
Shiloh
bit
and
too
Bros
long.
is the YouTube channel for you. So I would like to welcome Cole from Shiloh and Bros. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm ready to answer.
That's him, isn't it?
Interview.
I think so.
Now,
I
today.
think so, yeah. I think it felt as if it just took a little bit too long to get to that part of the joke. But irrespective of that, again, maybe tying in this concept of popular YouTubers, or is it? I've not heard of this person.
Maybe that's them. Maybe they have another channel.
Forgive my knowledge. Maybe that is. Maybe you're right, Dan. But yeah,
I love that they're trying stuff. I feel like this latest
Yeah.
video is the direction they could see themselves going if they have more ideas like that.
So given that they're like 3 videos into this, right, we would just encourage the creators to continue exploring this new path that they're going down, which is already starting to return on higher view counts, getting away from this saturated let's play gaming reaction type of videos to something that's very inventive, probably a lot more hard work.
Yeah,
I would imagine it takes a lot longer to make these videos, but will they be rewarded ultimately in the future? We'd like to think yes at this point.
Yeah, I think so. It's too soon to tell, I guess, because they've tried so many different things at this point.
Mhm.
I would hope that the creator has like sat down and come up with like more ideas. You know, like we would advise if you're gonna make a pivot on your channel, but like this channel clearly has, to have like 10, 20 ideas that you easily came up with because you're just so inspired right now by like what you're making. Now it's not the end of the world if you're like, oh my gosh, no, I don't have that many. You could still go there and try and find that. But I just hope I hope there's like a plan, you know, because when we look at the content as a whole right now, it does feel like random. You know, it does feel a little bit all over the place where you have like gameplay content and then this Q&A and the interview and then the new Mr. Beast video. It's a lot right now. So if I subscribe to this channel, I have no idea what I'm going to get, but that you can, you know, keep making videos that are similar to what's working in your channel. And then hopefully it'll start to snowball.
I kind of treat the channel at the moment, Dan, as these 3 videos.
Yeah.
And what I implore the creator to try and avoid doing is like, even if you're tempted to, is go back to Fortnite, gaming basically at this point. Let's put gaming to one side and spend the next 6 months of your YouTube journey, whether that's 10 or 20 videos, exploring this new venture. You know, who knows, maybe at some point you want to unlist these videos that are here if they're not finding the right audience. So that was Fantation. I don't know how to pronounce it. The channel name's really messing with my pronunciation skills, which are bad already. But this channel managed to get a channel audit because they're part of a Discord community. And there are all sorts of events and challenges going on with our Discord community. So let us know if you are already in that Discord community in a chat. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next channel.
I think your computer is getting even more laggy because it's suddenly created like a duplicate of you, and I don't really know why it's doing that. But
what is this? Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. You need to fix your computer though.
Hey, I've got a bandana. I look pretty cool.
Our bandana's great.
Oh, it's John. Sorry.
Oh, hey, John.
Hey
How's
guys,
it going?
It's going.
He's got a multicam that works, unlike mine, which is broken. Well, I want to say thank you to you as well, John, for filling in over the last couple of live streams. It was very much appreciated, and you passed the test. You've been welcomed back on.
Oh, good. It was my pleasure.
We're going to audit with the 3 of us, which means we're going to jump into everybody's favorite part of a live stream, which is... Here's a claw. And I'm pleased to say that Claudia has been retired again for this week. I don't know if Dan will bring Claudia back next week,
I don't
but we shall see. It's getting very depressed, very, very tetchy last time I was speaking to her. So
Claudia's
I'm
in the
going to
shop.
do all of the numbers. Here's how this works, folks, if you are new. We have 520 responses in the non-gaming form. So we put those 520 people in the claw machine, and then we pick one like this. We take said number back to the form, and we type that number very carefully into the form.
I have a robot that does this much better.
Yeah, it'd still be figuring out what to say though, Dan, wouldn't it? We take that URL, and then we audit the channel. And, this is completely first impressions. We haven't seen this channel before. We don't know what we're getting into. But we say hello to Kodybod. They are a officially recognized... Oh, hang on. Is that a fake icon under
Oh, it might be.
I'm not sure, because
know.
when you mouse over it, it would tell you something. Very sneaky if you have done. Anyway, music channel. I know very little about music channels, and since we have John here, who is an expert on music, I'm just going to throw it over the fence. I'll let John handle with this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is tough. For those that don't know, I spent like 13 years being like a touring musician, and I wasn't necessarily in the rap game, but making the transition to YouTube has been like a very eye-opening experience. And had I known what I know now, my music journey would have been much different. I probably would have focused a lot more on YouTube and kind of went the whole reality show route. I feel like that would have built a community better. As for current music and the way it stands in YouTube, it is so tough. Even music videos are just not very popular unless you're massive. You're signed to Atlantic, or I don't know what record labels there are now anymore. I'm out of the game. But yeah, it's a very tough niche to break through, and you got to make people care in some way. You can go SoundCloud about it. Like, you can just upload your audios and maybe make a little visualizer, and just to show off your music. I mean, that's really like a utility for yourself, to share your content. But how to blow up as a music channel, it's a tough sell. You got to make something that people want to care about. And honestly, I hate to say be gimmicky about it, because you don't have to. But there are ways to really wrap your music into something that helps build a community. I wish I had some examples, because I've seen some very, very cool stuff here recently. Of course, you can always do collaborations, and the more YouTube friends you make, like I saw Charlie on a rap video like 2 days ago, Moist Critical Charlie. Yeah. And of course that will always help, but that's not always accessible.
Shorts are great. They're doing shorts. I mean,
shorts are awesome.
You want to introduce someone to your music, have it start playing immediately, and that shorts is like great for that.
I think this is an official music channel of some kind as well, because it has a release tab. So I think that's a music-centric feature there.
The one artist that I have seen do really well with this type of stuff is Jake, and it's like J, and then it's like an upside down V for the A, and he does the song Golden Hour, and every short that he played, it's like me playing my song in front of my music teacher, and he starts playing it like an acoustic version, and like it shows her reaction. So people's reactions to your own music on your shorts, it's a good call.
Like those ones in the airport terminals where they play the piano and everyone starts walking by and then they stop, and yeah.
For sure. So in a rap situation, I would guess like any freestyling, live streams really help with that sort of thing. Who is that one guy? Dan, do you remember that guy's name that does the freestyle like super well?
I know who you're talking about, but I do not.
Man.
But I know exactly who you're talking about.
But yeah, he makes an event out of it, and he gets suggestions from the audience, and they say a word, and then he like puts it in. He shows a skill. He puts it into his song. Yeah. So there are clever ways to go about this. It's just very tough for music.
The one piece of advice I always remember from a music creator who used to be here at vidIQ was that the packaging or the metadata needs to speak to the genre that you're trying to encourage an audience to listen from. And when I look at the titles here, like if I've never come across this creator before or not read their about section, that tells us they're a dynamic rapper. How would I know what any of these music videos are about? Whiskers Legacy, Black and Yellow Dreams, instrumental by said artist. To me, that communicates nothing about the music itself. So I would suggest the very first thing in their title should be defining the genre of the music, which may assist in some way. And then the thumbnails could add a little bit more to that. And I'm just going to click on the video itself. I'm guessing it is just the artist's cover with the music. That seems to be the case. And
this instrumental, it kind of brings up something that I thought might be cool. If I ever gotten back into music, and I'm not trying to push Epidemic, but I know that they have deals with artists to where you can make beats and stuff and you can sell your music through Epidemic. Basically, like you give it to them and then they cut you in on how many times it gets downloaded or whatever. No, I think it's through a subscription. But anyway, you can put your vocal versions on there and your instrumentals, your stems, that sort of thing. And I've wondered recently how effective that is at promoting your own music, because I found some really good artists on Epidemic that I'm just like, wow, this is the jam, and it's stock music, you know.
Cool. Any final thoughts for the channel?
No, I think we covered it.
All right then. We'll now pick a gaming channel, and for gaming channels we'll have to adjust the numbers a little bit because there's 413 entrants here.
And also Travis is here.
Oh. Hey, Travis, how's it going? Welcome back, sir.
What happened? It's so fast.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I can't remember the last time we had 4 people on a live stream and one of them wasn't Savage. This is brilliant. All right. So we're auditing a gaming channel randomly at the moment. And so I'm just going to get the channel here. And I feel as if I can just sit back and relax here and let everybody else do all the work. Other than introducing Stimz, who has 5 subscribers, a single video, but 50 views. I'll start with you, Dan.
I mean, how many people here in their first gaming video got 50 views? You know, that's pretty cool. It's 3 weeks ago, and they immediately went with a nice, clear challenge. Chain link only, living in a chain link base for a wipe, solo Rust. So they're covering Rust, very popular community over there. And this is really encouraging, I would say. The only thing I would say they dropped the ball on is like not following up sooner. Because you made it into the watch history of 50 people. And if they wanted to see more, there wasn't more for at least 3 weeks by now. So
now, maybe the argument, Dan, is, well, this is a 25-minute video. It's going to take me a long time to make the next video, but and Travis is gone. Thanks, Travis. We hardly knew you. The argument might be is, well, when you first launch your channel, even if it typically takes a couple of weeks, months per video, when you first launch your channel, you should have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 videos going out very quickly so that if somebody enjoys a video, they've got something immediately to watch next.
Yeah. If they are spending a lot of time on the edit and the concept and stuff, it can take a long time. So you can build that watch history as quickly or as slowly as you want. So don't make it sound like, oh, they dropped the ball and it's too late. It's more like, oh, it would have been cool if there were a few videos ready earlier just to get you kicked off. But I think this video continues to get steam as more videos enter the channel. There become more points of entry for the channel.
And to throw this one to John, first video, first thumbnail, like, just what is right with this from a creator content perspective?
A couple things. Okay, so composition for one, there's spots for everything, and they don't get in the way of each other. The text, it's bold, it's thick, and the colors are perfect on blue, especially like white and yellow really pop off blue, and the fact that they did a stroke around it, even better. And then, of course, the red arrow. You can never fail with the red arrow.
There's nothing, technically very, very difficult with this thumbnail, is there? I would say that the most technically difficult thing here was getting the word chain behind the object.
Yeah.
But everything else is relatively straightforward. And, this has been done by a creator. I don't know if this is their first channel, but for the first video is really impressive stuff from a simplicity point of view.
It does seem like they've got some experience with the thumbnail for sure. I was really interested in that font. I know I've seen it before, but I can't remember. But it's a great choice.
Yeah,
for sure,
especially for a gaming channel.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So Stimz, well done. Just do more, I think is our first answer here. Like, make sure it's probably another challenge on the solo Rust, another powerful eye-popping thumbnail. I don't know, maybe we'll see you in 3 months' time with you've cracked 100 subscribers and 1,000 or 10,000 views. But we'll move on to another channel now. And this will be a non-gaming channel, so we have to adjust the numbers again. We're up to 542. Let us know what you think Travis was going to say in the chat.
He'll be back. He said he has audio issues.
Until he abandoned us. Channel 77. I guess that's what we mean also by about just practice with live stream. Because like sometimes getting a mix and the audio right on the computer so that you hear what you need to hear. This is what your audience needs to hear. And what other people on a live stream shouldn't be able to hear, that can be a minefield as well. Yeah. So another reason to just, jump into live stream to figure out how to do it. Kennedy DIY here, fixing all things and building all things electrical to me, as well as how to add a microphone to your audio input device in OBS, something we've just been talking about. Go on, Dan, kick us off.
You know what this reminds me of? This is, you're gonna be so annoyed with me for even bringing this up. So like I spent my weekend. I did what I just told other people to do about an hour ago, which is take a break, right? So I didn't stream or anything. And I, for whatever reason, became obsessed, absolutely obsessed with modifying Game Boy consoles to the point where I even bought parts to modify my old Game Boy because it needs a tune up anyway.
Yeah.
So the channels I was looking at to do this are now flooding my recommended feed, and YouTube thinks I only want that now, which is not unfair. I do really enjoy the videos, but they are similar in the sense that there's a lot of like open Game Boys and wires everywhere and things like that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is those channels, I know exactly what I'm going to get every single time. It's going to be people modding Game Boys. Whereas this is very interesting, like police light electronic circuit tutorial, but how many people are trying to do that? Flashing LED lights, things like that. Like there's a niche and a market for people who want to modify their old consoles and things like that. I mean, those channels have a pretty massive amount of content ahead of them because there's all kinds of old consoles now and they're being modded up and down. But this feels so general that I don't exactly know what I'm getting. Are you teaching me basic concepts about like that an electrician would know, for example, because that could be useful to me at my home, right? If something breaks, maybe I know you can teach me how to fix it. But these just feel like cool experiments that you can do, and I'm just not sure who they're for exactly, But now as someone who's like watching all these very technical electronics videos about Game Boys, I'm feeling like my needs are being answered with those videos. But with these, I'm like, who would be the target audience? Like, obviously not people modding their Game Boys, sure, but it's got to be somebody. And I'm confused, I guess. I don't understand some of the language here, and that could be part of the problem because I don't know about these certain tools and what they do. But what's their practical use is really the question. Because I don't know about a lot of tools to modify Game Boys. I just know I want to modify my Game Boy, right? So they're not using super technical terms in the titles and thumbnails. They're making it dead simple for me to understand as a layman. And that's missing here too.
I just did some colorful images here to try and identify the different topics on the channel. So we have LED boards. We've got a Photoshop tutorial. I think we've got some tutorials on 3D printing, some tutorials on how to troubleshoot DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editor. And then, of course, the OBS tutorial as well. These are all very, very different. It's a Venn diagram of everything that the creator is interested in. And it's not really going to align with the average viewer's Venn diagram of interest either. So I almost feel as if I need to pick a lane and stick in it for a while. The outlier at the moment is this Fusion 360 tutorial. So maybe several videos on that topic might be an idea. Any observations from you, John?
Yeah, I feel like I went through this mode like when I was first learning how to do things on YouTube, where I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I had to put something out. So anything I was learning at the moment, I decided to reteach, and that's what I was going to do. And I didn't end up doing it, but I think it's a good way to like learn the ropes, you know, to pick it up, and then once you feel like you're in the mode, if you've already done something like this, I would either, you know, pick a lane like you said, or start something new when you have like a really solid idea. But yeah, I feel like I would have done this too when I first started.
There is a certain element of utility, I think, to these videos where I think they are being picked up in search because, you know, several of these have got hundreds of views, a couple of approaching 1,000 views. But I worry that the creator is going to continue to do this, have maybe 1 or 2 videos out of 20 that get, you know, 5,000 or 10,000 views. They'll have that one outlier every 3 to 6 months, but then they'll be scratching their head thinking, why is it only happening to certain videos? And until they figure out exactly a topic that they want to stick to, that's where the channel is going to be. Travis, is your audio working?
I hope so.
Oh, great. Then we will pick another channel and you can dive in first. I'm afraid it will be a gaming channel, but hey ho, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So we got 428 channels.
Amazing.
Pick from the CLAAAW. And it's channel number 301. So, Travis, can you tell us about the following channel that is called VIZAN or VIZAN, the Phantom King?
Okay, let's see. I like simulator games, also play weird games with some hidden meanings. All right. It looks like Ryu in the bottom corner. What is it? Someone stole my toilet, so I'm trying peeing in space. Okay. And then this most recent one kind of broke out. Techno Gamers, like that's interesting. So actually, you know what? Click that video real quick. You don't have to play it, but look in the comments. I'm curious if anyone.
Guys, देख रहे हो कितना सुहाना मौसम है और भाई हाथी हरामी
Oh,
ये तुम्हें
that's
दिख रहा
interesting.
That's very interesting. And you can start seeing that there's a couple other there's only 8 comments, which makes me think that this might be promoted somewhere. It could be either embedded into like Reddit or something like that, or they might have used the YouTube promote this video thing, which is, I'll just be honest, a waste of money. It's pretty obviously not organic because you would have a lot more comments in the section. I think I could be wrong, but scroll down a little bit. I feel like I'm trying to figure out what language that is. It sounded a little bit like Tagalog, but I'm not sure. But regardless,
वैसे भी हरामी हाँ तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि भाई
no,
तुम
it's
इसको
something
ये
else. So the end result is it's in one language, but everything about the channel's in another.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Which I would ask why. Secondarily, there doesn't seem to be like a super focus on this. You have like a toilet thing and then cars and like it's all over the place. So I'm not real sure what's going on there. It says they have 3,000 subscribers, 160 videos. So what's their most popular video? Like what brought in all the subs? So funniest challenge. See, I wonder if with so many subscribers for no video that it's gone over 30,000 views, funniest food challenge, which has nothing. I don't think.
There we go,
Travis. There we go.
Shots. Yeah.
Hot dang. You know what it looks like? Is this one? Click on one of those. What game is this?
तो गाइस जैसा कि तुमने टाइटल में देखा है कि हम एक रेयर गाड़ी को हम गिव अवे करने वाले हैं तो एक बार नीचे से देख कर
I don't even know what this is.
Oh,
भाई साहब
I think it's like parking lot simulator or something like that. I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those simulator games that's always a bit janky. They're very fun to watch.
So this is a shorts channel that's trying long form, but not anything in particular. And Dan, I'm curious. I think once upon a time we thought you separate the channels, but it almost seems like you can have like a shorts channel with one type of topic and longs on the same channel that don't cross pollinate to each other.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's just about expectations is what I keep telling people. Like, you're going to build an audience that likes your shorts. You're going to build an audience that likes your long form content, and YouTube's going to tell you if there's crossover. We have some crossover. So I like similar, but if you're going to do 2 totally different things, you can absolutely do that. it just builds two totally different audiences, and that leaves less chance for that like nice crossover.
I'm just looking at this collection of videos, which were several months ago, long form content, all outliers for the channel. Presumably that, what was it, Dan? The parking lot simulator.
Something like that.
That is a game, is it?
Or used car simulators. So it looks like one of those kind of scuffed simulator games.
Yeah. It is a classic case of when you stick to one game and kind of feed that to your audience on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
your audience will continue to come back. Whereas there's all of this. I'm just to describe it as stuff. I don't know what any of these games are in between the Power World one that they've recently done, and that's kicked off. Do they now stick to Power World for the next couple of months?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Power World. So you have the simulator games genre is very interesting. There's a lot of options out there. If you're going to pivot away from that, then yeah, you could do Power World. It's kind of a survival game, and what people want from you is probably you playing these games in a unique way or playing them wrong, which opens up a lot of doors if you can get that right. So yeah, they could stick to Power World. They could do even another survival game, like Enshrouded is another one people really like, and maybe you can kind of mess with that one in a funny way, do a funny challenge. But yeah, there needs to be a through line, and it seems like their through line is like, I'm going to play these games in a silly kind of way, which can be a lot of fun. And it does allow you to be, I think, a little more flexible. But there's a lot of confusion. I'm still hung up on the English titles. I don't know if your browsers are translating them for us. I don't think that's happening. But I'm genuinely confused as like a new viewer to the channel. Like I clicked on a video that was about killing pals with no weapons, which sounds like a challenge to me. No pals, no weapons. And then I can't understand what's going on.
This has happened on other creators I've coached. It tends to happen with Indian channels.
Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and I've in speaking to those creators, for the most part, they're like, well, almost everyone in India, or for the most part, who's going to be watching YouTube speaks English anyway. So I just figured I would do both. And it's like, well, but now you're confusing the audience that only speaks English. So it's interesting.
It's fair.
I had one more question I wanted to ask to John here. Travis noticed that we have what looks to be Ryu from Street Fighter 2 on the thumbnails. So it's like a certain element of branding. I guess in this sense, does it work or does it confuse?
Well, I think I'm a little out of touch when it comes to gaming channels, but when I see this, I see a lot of value in the character. When I scroll over just like the long forms, I see the same character and I'm like, well, it's kind of a VTuber to me in that sense. And if I probably wouldn't use the Street Fighter IP at all, but I mean that is like dead on Ryu. But I feel like that's something to connect to. Honestly, I don't necessarily know if it's super important to put in the thumbnails. When I see stuff like this, I think, okay, it's just like this could be a Markiplier type channel too, you know, just with this character instead. And I think that there's some potential there, but I think the character itself is distracting just a little bit. If they switched it would be cool.
The exact same face on everyone. There's no attempt to use different emotion. It's what looks to be
I see.
Ryu crying in all of them, from what I can see. Anyway, what we'll do now is Hadouken to the next channel. Sorry, Dan.
What?
Jeez. Channel 105.
I don't have a boo sound effect. I just have that one. So
you have two sound effects right now, Dan. The comical fart and the shocked audience one.
I have this.
You need a stream deck with more than 2 buttons, please. Right. Next channel is Wonder Witch 2800. And this channel is how old at this point? About 3 months old, 300 subscribers. Looks to me like a Avengers Marvel appreciation channel. And I'll just open it up to the invited panel to share your thoughts.
Are there shorts too?
Yes.
There are some shorts, yeah.
Yeah,
not many views on these.
All the Marvel things. It's interesting. So the main obviously, like, this is all about you know, the witch and everything, which is fine. But I wonder what is the I'm going to ask the question that seems real obvious, but maybe it isn't. What is the actual purpose of this channel? I'll make multiple Marvel can't. Okay, which in shorts they have. It looks like on the long form stuff, while they've done Groot and stuff, Captain America, it's mostly witch related stuff, but the logo is mostly witch related stuff. So I wonder, like, if I'm, and listen, I've watched a bunch of Marvel stuff, and quite frankly, like the WandaVision thing was okay, but it doesn't make me want to see more. Like more Avengers stuff, I would want to see more of that. I don't know what the appetite is in the Marvel universe for just Wanda stuff. But I mean, their one Wanda Becoming Scarlet Witch did really well for their channel, so I'm kind of at an impasse on this one.
A question I want to ask, just looking at the titles, is how transformative are these? Or are they just clips and a mashup of clips? Like, if I play this, is it just taking clips from the Wanda aspects of the films?
I'm surprised this is even working. Like, I'm surprised that it hasn't been struck down, because it looks like it's a long.
I'm not seeing any transformation here from what I can tell.
I'm just surprised it's not blocked. Like YouTube's auto thing isn't blocking it. That's actually pretty amazing. Yeah. So then my question, that actually explains why it has 22,000 views, because it's actually from the show.
Yeah.
Right.
It's perfectly edited with amazing special effects, because I don't know, Marvel did it, right? So then the question is, now what? And you can't just keep taking Marvel stuff and putting on here. You got to do something. I don't know.
It's kind of like that you're providing a service to people. Like, oh, I like how you kind of combine these clips and told the story in a different way with them. But it doesn't help us in terms of like, oh, you want to grow an organic channel and we want you to get monetized and things like that. That video probably at least has a copyright claim on it. The answer is, like, if you want to go legit, if you will, you'll need to provide commentary. You'll need to tell the story yourself, and you can rely on a little bit of B-roll probably and get away with it. But it's really about, like, you can chronicle the story of Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch, but in your own words, right? And transform the content. But we can't really advise just doing Marvel edits all day, because anyone can do that. It's a low barrier to entry, and some of them might get views, but we can't. From there? It's like, okay, have fun, I guess. But there's the path to, like, YouTube success that we're trying to help people with kind of gets lost there.
Jeff would ask the question here, like, let's step back and ask a big question, like, what is the goal of a channel? What do you want to do on YouTube? And if this creator just at the moment wants to splice footage together and just experiment with getting better at editing to maybe do something in the future where they'll build a community and an audience around it, which requires more research and a personal input and opinion, cool. But if you're doing this right now with the intention of monetizing it somehow in the future, it's unlikely to happen in the state that the channel's currently in. Mm-hmm. So we have to ask the creator this question, like, if you want to make this sustainable, this channel, how are you going to transform it into something unique that you're presenting to an audience?
Yeah.
Other than just clips, which, as Dan said, low barrier to entry, people can do that. And Disney's not going to really smile too kindly on you if you have one of these videos go viral.
You could do Steamboat Willie all day, though.
Indeed. Go to town.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All right. I think
wait another like 70 years and you can do Scarlet Witch.
Is play some music and tackle whatever super chats we currently have on the board, and we have a eclectic panel now to answer these questions. And the first one comes from Hugo Ruix, YT. I make fast-paced tutorials, but some people want full workflow videos, 20 to 60 minutes. Should I publish those on the same channel, or will that hurt? Thank you.
I would test one, because we've done ultimate guides where it takes some of the videos we've done in the past and compiles them for a new audience, and we feel like the advice all together has value on its own, and we get like an over an hour long video sometimes, and those perform, but the goal is like that audience that wants that kind of experience. You have some demand for it. It's definitely worth testing, And even if it doesn't do well at first, like leave it for a bit, because if it's getting the watch time from that subset of people, YouTube's gonna be like, hey, do you need a 60-minute tutorial on how to do blank? Because this person has you covered. It could bring in a lot of new people to the channel. I would test one, leave it up, and keep doing what you're doing, and then revisit in like a month and see how it did.
I always feel as if, John, you love to go into the detail. Like I imagine you could say, I know I need to make a 10-minute video, but I really could make a full tutorial and get everything out of my brain onto a YouTube video. Do you find yourself resisting that, or would you like to do that? And I guess from this, how does this match with the creator's question here?
Okay, I guess so. From what I've learned over the past like 2 or 3 months, when I want to teach somebody how to do something, I like them to understand how I think, because it also leads me to teach them a lot of stuff I didn't intend to teach them.
Yeah.
But I've learned that an audience just coming in cold, they're not patient. And so they want the details now, and they want to learn it, and then they want to give up and do something else. Like it just seems that way sometimes. Yeah. I think a full workflow video, it works for some people. If it's difficult to do for you, then like Dan said, test it out once. Dan and we reviewed a channel last week, I think, that their longer videos were performing well, and they were caught because they didn't know what would do better. But it's like, if the demand is there, then great. I would say lately though, patience is it's not there for people that want tutorials. They want now, and they don't want intros, or they don't want fluff. They just teach me and let it go.
And it is a scary thing to like make a big long tutorial and then think, man, that was a lot of work. It's going to take me another 3-4 months to do the next one, and there's nothing going to be on my channel in the meantime. And I guess tackling that stress and then putting a lot of emotional effort into that one video, hoping that it's going to take off. So I agree with Dan, like this idea of testing it, maybe compilations of older videos to make a long version just to see how it works with your audience. I think Travis just joined us for this one, just so that we could say, you guys are the GOATs.
Do we have a goat sound effect?
I do not have a goat sound effect. I was thinking about that. That's one end of what the goat might make.
Sorry, wrong goat side.
Potentially. Crushiquity. That's how I'm pronouncing that channel name. I asked about 90% traffic, or I think I have 90% traffic coming from Browse 2 weeks ago. My channel blew up right after 800 subs to 3,000 subs. Is high browse a percentage in? I'm getting lost in the question. Huh? There's so many percentages and words, and what's the question?
An indicator of what? Have low watch time. It's good to have traffic from browse.
Yes.
We just answer that and move on.
I think yes. I think ideally you want it from browse more than you want it from search. And controversial opinion, but you probably want more views from suggested than you do from browse, generally speaking. And if your watch time is going down, but it's because the channel's blown up, it's similar to click-through rate in that you're appealing to a wider audience who maybe aren't as well invested in your content, so they're not as willing to stick around, as John was kind of hinting at in the previous question. But the fact that YouTube is making your content more discoverable is the most important thing in the moment, and you've just got to try and execute on that as best you can. If that's how the question is phrased, because it's a bit confusing. Shut up, James. I am very conscious of the rewatchability of my live streams, so I find myself recapping during a live, which feels repetitive. Should I stop?
I think this could be a question we could pass right back to the chat here. If you join the live stream halfway through and you're new, did you feel like you understood what was going on, or did you wish we kind of stopped and welcomed you specifically? Because I try and keep that in mind too. And I feel like I don't repeat myself enough during live streams. If I'm going for 4 hours, maybe twice throughout the whole middle section of the live stream, I'll say, by the way, if you're just joining us today, we're doing blank. And I think it helps, especially if you can find a quick way to sum it up, just like your title. It's a quick way to sum up what you're doing that day. So if you can just kind of repeat that, we're doing this, even a light explanation will make someone who's new feel like, oh, okay, cool. I'll probably pick up the rest. At least they acknowledge that I'm here.
But when you're rewatching it as a live stream, when you're rewatching it as a video on demand, surely people start at the very beginning anyway.
I would assume it would depend on the video type, right? Because jumping into the middle of a live stream can create some FOMO, and that is also, you know, a benefit to keeping people around. If it's just educational, though, like if you're teaching something instead of entertaining, then yeah, you'd probably want them to start at the beginning.
Next question from the Design Rescue Team. Hey, Travis, you've just been talking about this.
Yeah.
I thought YouTube promotions would boost my views significantly. Now I see it's not attracting engaged viewers despite my large subscriber count.
Thanks, YouTube.
No,
for...
God, please, no, no.
Yeah, I mean, I can explain all of this because we've researched a little bit of it, and we just kind of know how it works. If you're trying to promote your channel, never, ever, 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 ever spend a dime using the promotional thing for a couple of reasons. Now, let me rewind a little bit. If you're going to sell a product, absolutely. Like if you have a product to sell or maybe a service to sell, it's actually a great way to get your product or your service out there. But your channel is not a product or service that most people are going to want to, quote, buy. And I'll explain to you why it's actually not a good use of your money here in a second. But I want you to, I'm just going to ask a question in chat. How many times do you watch the first 5 seconds of an ad when you can skip past it and watch the entire thing, especially when it's for a YouTube channel that has nothing to do with what you just clicked on, and then just multiply that by thousands? So even if someone does watch that entire ad, while you do get the view, you don't get the watch history, which is so much more important than the view. Whenever I coach any channel, I always tell them the number one thing you want is to have your videos in the watch history, so you can be promoted by YouTube to that viewer and viewers like them. When you use an ad, even through YouTube, and a person watches it, it's not put in their watch history. So it's like they never saw you ever before, which means you will not be promoted to them again unless they watch one of your other videos. So it's just not a good use of your money because what you typically want is someone to watch a video, like it, and then be in the browse when they come to their home screen or whatever, be recommended one of your other videos. That does not happen with the promotional aspect of YouTube. So just spend more time learning how to do this and how to make your videos sticky, rather than spending money on something that literally your view numbers will go up, your subscriber number may go up, but your view numbers on videos after that are not going anywhere. 100% guaranteed.
That is a sound effect I offer, Travis, when it is an incredible answer from someone on the panel, or that sound effect. We've got a message from ZeppyTube, member for 3 months. Update: Geometry Dash is still POG. What? I'm not down with the kids. What does POG mean these days?
It's these like little cardboard circles that you hit with slammers. You remember it, and you stack them up.
What?
It's so bad.
You remember the POGs?
It means
Yeah,
rad.
I know. I remember a POG, but I thought
no. POG is play of game or something like that.
It means totally radical.
Yeah.
Cowabunga.
Hello, fellow dudes, fellow young dudes.
if you say so. Best Friends, the sequel. How many seconds can I use from a movie clip?
Not legal advice.
Copyright doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Like this.
I don't really know how to answer that.
So
No,
there is a.
God, please, no, no, no.
So the reason I think we can use that is because it's kind of a joke and a parody. So we've transformed the way we're using that clip.
Is what
It's
we'll
more
say in
to do with
court.
that.
we actually have an answer for this. I used to say in Max, but really even Boost members have access to these videos. The video with the YouTube lawyer,
Ian Corzine.
Ian Corzine is actually available to Boost members, and they can watch where he literally talks about this. You should absolutely watch it. It's fantastic.
Thank you. All right. Rizman, well, R1's4N says, hey, live streamed for 7 days as a challenge. Analytics show 2K watch time, but my channel only has 1,000. Any ideas? I assume that means you have 1,000 hours of watch time attributed to monetization? Is that how
Probably.
I'm interpreting that?
I imagine. So yeah, our suspicion here is that it counts when it becomes a VOD. So people are watching after, then it counts. But it's been really difficult to get an answer about this conundrum. But I'm not surprised to see this. Does anyone else have an answer to this? Because
I've given up knowing whether it counts or not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we'll get thousands of hours after the stream is done, but it doesn't really seem to calculate the same way.
And try not to break anything. I'm monetized in less than 12 months. Am I Mr. Beast? And my answer to you is
No! God, please, no! No! No!
probably overuse that clip now.
I got a channel monetized in 3 days. They are still not Mr. Beast.
Right. That is all of our super chats for this week. And remember, as always, super chats were sponsored by one-on-one coaching. So if you want your own personal coach answering those questions on a daily basis through asynchronous video, then check out the link in the description and you can get your own YouTube coach here at vidIQ. With that, we'll go back to the random claw machine, and I'll just need to check my numbers and see that we have 590 there and 456 on the gaming channel. I think we need to do a gaming channel this time. So let's pick one out. And it is channel 182. And the channel we are looking at is, thank you, John, thank you. The channel we are looking at is Tortoise Tube. So tell us a bit more about this channel.
I think they're playing some Fortnite. I think they're overcomplicating their thumbnails.
I would agree.
Yeah, there's too many elements. I imagine these thumbnails probably take you a bit of time to make, but they're not communicating a message as we would want them to. Like, there's obviously some Fortnite videos here, but what are you doing in Fortnite? This might destroy Fortnite. Your thumbnail shouldn't be the Fortnite logo that's unreadable because of the background and the font color and all that stuff. I want to see something in Fortnite that is pointing to the idea that something is going to ruin Fortnite or destroy Fortnite. And that's all it needs to be. One simple image of the thing you're trying to explain to people. But it's this massive problem, and like you're obviously trying to show something urgent, like show, don't tell, I think. So this channel needs to work on, its messaging behind the videos for sure. Or it's messaging on the front of the videos, I should say.
This one, for example, the Rainbow Challenge, we just need one image that accurately defines that, whatever that is. I mean, presumably it's a rainbow on the map that kind of points down to some loot or something. That would be like a really powerful thumbnail, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It could take some skill to like learn how to do those effects, but you should take the time to learn how to do those effects. Here we go.
It says a rainbow gun that people are getting.
Yeah, and we're getting this from looking at the thumbnails too. We're not even like reading the titles at first, and they're colorful and vibrant, which always helps, but they depict a rainbow and they depict the rewards from the challenge, which is what people like. Any person playing it that's trying to get those rewards, so you're speaking directly to that audience.
This kind of represents the difference between a creator who understands YouTube and those that don't, where we have these videos obviously from smaller channels that are getting no views, and then somebody who's also talking about the Rainbow Challenge but has put together a really well thought out thumbnail. Now, obviously, there's going to be more influence as well, but it's a big creator getting views. But I would imagine if either of these creators had produced a thumbnail of a similar standard and they're ranking 2 and 3 for the search term, they might be getting a few more views than what they've got so far.
Yeah,
maybe this is probably a good example here. This is an outlier for a channel. Let's go to Basketball Kid that has 4,000 subscribers, but they're making custom thumbnails, and that's probably a pretty decent return on investment, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not just that problem, though, is it, Dan? We have Starbucks video re-upload. Do I need to know it's a re-upload of something? And I don't know what the video's about. YouTube slander, where it's maybe not a thumbnail in itself, it's just a freeze frame from the video, and I've got a lot of text to try and read here.
Yeah, it feels like with these middle videos, there's like a joke or something the creator comprehends very well, but as the audience, not knowing who this creator is or what they're trying to say, we're sitting here having to decode and think really hard about like, where are they coming from right now? But the average viewer on YouTube isn't going to be doing that. They're not going to take the time to decode your thumbnails. They're going to keep scrolling, and that's what we want to try and avoid.
And I should have checked whether they were a long form or a shorts form creator before we told them all of that. But there were some recent long form videos. And what they're doing in shorts is mostly bathroom tour. Don't want to click on that one.
A bathroom tour?
Yeah, just thrown in there, Travis, along with the
yeah.
Fortnite stuff.
This is very epic, though. Maybe it's good.
Yeah. Are we all a little bit lost on what to add to this one?
Yes.
Is it late in the day and we're struggling?
Yeah. You could put some of that on us, I think.
I mean, again, in the shorts, some Fall Guys stuff, then a beatbox video, then back to Fortnite. The Fortnite video gets tons of views. All the Fortnite stuff gets lots of views, but then they have the bathroom tour, which doesn't get any views. Channel focus.
What about a Fortnite bathroom tour?
There you go.
Let's see that.
Now that
Could that work?
is money. All right, let's do a non-gaming channel. I'm just going to do 600. And we're going to pick number 5. I knew it was going to do that.
Just pick again.
Well, I'll do 597.
Okay.
I was almost right. We are going to audit.
See, my claw would have never done that.
That was a lot to copy.
Yeah, no, that got copied a bit too much there. Where's my URL gone here? There we go. Well, next week, Dan, when you're hosting, Claudia can make a return. It's a fun.
Oh,
No,
Well, okay, well,
we just missed them.
we don't need
Yeah.
to
Oh,
watch
good. All right. Well, we're done.
See you later.
This happens every once in a while. We've seen this happen a couple
Sounds good.
times, actually. Nice.
I react to videos and I talk a lot. Too much, you could say. I have no idea what this channel's about.
What
Where
was
is
it
Savage
about?
when we need him? He can help us with this. Home Alone, really? Shorts reaction. So is that, I know that they've overdone all the Home Alone movies. Like, I love the first two. Love watching them every Christmas. And I know they've done like 3 or 4 after, which is just sacrilege. But is this an actual one called Home Alone, really? And then he's doing a short. Yeah. But look, I got a lot of views though.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's a couple of outliers here.
What is the deal with? Is that a? No, I thought it was a cheese grater at first, but now I
Yeah,
know
it's
what
a
it
Mac.
is.
Yeah,
But that's
Yeah.
actually, I think that's my point. Actually,
Wait. Are they re-uploading reaction channels?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this the same person in each one?
Because that's
Oh,
Sniper Wolf. Okay. Is this
not
what we're?
them.
Okay. Is that the person? No, that's map. Which one of these people is the person? Okay, no, that was the person.
there,
I think
that-
that's the person, right?
yeah,
because
so
he said he
they are
quit.
reacting
We saw
to
him
stuff.
quit, yeah. Okay. All right. It's a fun.
I don't know what advice we have, or if it's welcomed if they quit YouTube. I would advise against re-uploading other people's reactions. Reaction content is controversial enough. I don't think we need to repost other people's reaction content.
That's funny.
Mommy, I want Android instead of 2020, for some reason not 2024, iPad Pros, which the side isn't even what's on the side of the box.
Okay, can we pause it real quick, actually?
Editing's
Sure.
not bad though.
Editing's not bad. I'm just, the context was missing in that.
Mhm.
Like, if that's the normal content we could expect from them, I just don't know where. There's obviously like a meme or something, and I just needed some background. Like,
Right.
that would have helped a ton, because like today we're going to take a look at this because I saw it and I just could not talk about it. Give us a little bit of background and then go into like your reaction and showcasing what it is. And I think that can help a lot with, your overall retention, because I felt confused in that whole like 10 seconds we were watching the video.
So let's do the first 10 seconds of this one.
Yes, that's right. I'm quitting YouTube. Haha, April Fools.
Oh,
I know.
I completely forgot.
Got
it was
him.
April. Ah,
Got him.
it actually got me. Yeah.
I
Well, you
That
know what
almost
we'll do?
backfired.
We're going to April Fools this channel and stop auditing them.
Oh, got him.
No, we did actually audit the channel, as you saw there.
We did.
Let's now look at a gaming channel. Squeeze one or two more out of audits. Hang on, what am I doing? Yeah, that's right. I was getting my numbers right. Channel 41. There we are. It's almost as if my brain has just stopped functioning in the last 10 minutes. I've forgotten how to do live streams. We are auditing Dom's Diary, 276 subscribers. And I'm seeing various different games that they're playing. They play one game, then move on to the next. So would this be a video essay channel, perhaps?
I'm pretty short video essays. Various challenges. Talking about video games.
Don't know.
Can we click on like the latest one?
Sure, Dan, let's do that.
In a neon future where rhythm and rebellion collide, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk emerges as a pulsating tribute to the classic Jet Set radio series.
Okay.
From the moment you step into the shoes of your
Sounds like a review to me.
Yeah.
The vibe that I get from this channel when I first see the thumbnails, I think music video, like a edited music video to the content.
Yeah.
And I don't get the review. I don't understand what I'm getting from the click.
Yeah, there was a bit of a disconnect. I didn't know it was going to be a review. It's just the title is like the title of the game and nothing else or something. Like something's going on. It's almost looks like they were trying to make an ad like for the game with their title and thumbnail. You know what I mean?
Right. How Dragon Ball impacted the world. Okay, that works. I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
A
many
little more
of you know
clear.
by now, the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, has sadly passed away on March 1st, 2024. This won't be the usual type of content I produce, because I am sad that Mr. Toriyama is not with us anymore.
Rest in peace, King.
So a trending reaction to something there on the channel. I mean, I don't want to be too critical of a channel just purely based on the fact that maybe the packaging isn't quite perfect, but each of the videos, even though it's a completely different game, is getting hundreds of views, and you know, we don't often see that. So there is a through line which I think is being picked up discovery wise, or viewers are returning to watch the content for.
Yeah. I think the one thing where I watch a lot of like video essays and stuff like that, they always seem to come at on the heels of a moment. If the channel's not niched down into like a very specific type of video essay, the ones that seem to do really well are always like that. The Dragon Ball one, sadly, is happening at a time where the topic is most relevant. Whereas some of these other ones feel like, this is a game that I heard of and I played at one point. I should do like a thing. So I don't know. What I want to say is like talk about stuff that more people are currently interested in, I guess. A bit of trends, but you can certainly do it in your style of video essays. You can focus on the games and the cultures that you are most passionate about. Like, for example, there's a Spider-Man one. Oh, here we go.
I think it's clear why this one is the outlier for the channel, because you just get it.
Yeah.
Like in 3 seconds. Like, as a gamer, you totally get that contrast, and it's really clearly packaged that way. Whereas all of the other ones, there's kind of a bit of a mystery behind them, isn't there?
Yep.
And this is like a little controversial too, right? Like I think people were disappointed in this. I can't remember too well, or maybe they were blown away. I don't know, but people had strong feelings about this at one point, and I remember that.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So maybe 4 months ago, and the topic, that was like perfect timing, and that's all I was trying to demonstrate.
Mm-hmm. That is Dom's Diary then. I think we'll do one more. We'll do one more non-gaming channel. So I'll adjust my numbers to compensate and pick out this channel, which is number 178. And we have a channel that describes themselves as an AI arts channel.
Right.
This is going to be interesting. So, top 20 mid-journey images. Dragon Ball 4K AI art show. So they are being honest about their intentions here. They are not trying to, I guess, create content quicker, faster, more efficiently through AI without necessarily the viewer knowing that. They are embracing this idea that people want to see AI art. But is that true? Let's discuss.
It's definitely an interesting way to go about this, because I wouldn't imagine listicles. I think you could do a lot of content about coming up with prompts to get certain types of images. That tends to be what I see a lot of. I've never seen someone do a listicle of like top 20 images I generated mid-journey. Like, that's kind of, you know, they've done it a lot. So I guess I would encourage them to try some other angles.
So this is just music. And I guess this is going to be on screen for 10, 20 seconds. If it's 20 Vs over an 8-minute period.
And there's an 8-minute video.
You're kind of done already, aren't you? It's like, I want to see the next one. If you're not going to tell me anything about it, okay, that's cool. Next.
Yeah, I agree.
Next.
They're way too long.
This needs to be, I think this kind of only works more in shorts format.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. They're attributing the username and everything.
Indeed,
it's very like an AI art museum is what we got going on here, and it's just something like the Dragon Ball works for me because it's topical. It's something like it's a theme and it makes sense to me, but just showing, oh, this art's good. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. Like Dan said, listicles.
And are all of these videos just over 8 minutes long for mid-rolls? It's almost too suspicious, the length of these videos.
If this is something, if the top 20 hook is something that people will be interested in, I guess that is where you're falling flat, because people will watch a little bit and they're like, this is taking too long. Even if speeding it up times 2, it would still be painfully long. So that's, I'm glad we looked at a couple to see how they're being packaged. I still think there's more you can do with this kind of content, like outside of the listicles, though. Like there's, you know, a lot of people have questions about how do I do this, you know, ethics behind it. Like there's so many different angles when it comes to AI right now.
What about, Dan, if each image was on screen for 10 seconds and included the prompt to create that image?
Yes.
And then it moved on to the next one.
Yes, at the very least, that would have been really cool. And then I think to add to it even more, a person talking about it, you know, if they want to go that route, like you could punch those up a lot. Yeah.
And then I guess in terms of reused content, or what would it be? Reuse or repetitious? I can never remember which bracket this may fall into. But not only is this programmatically generated content, but it's content that's so similar from video to video that you might not actually realize if you've watched this video before. Like you may get into the seeing a fourth image and say to yourself, hang on, I haven't seen this one before or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's like a line, you can use a certain amount of person's content, but because these people used AI to generate it, the users putting their art on without offering anything, without even saying anything, it's not transformative at all. Like, does that break a rule here? Even if they didn't generate it, or it's AI generated, but they were the prompter, like, what's going on? This is a very weird area to be in.
Here's my question, John. Do you think theoretically, and I'm not saying this is true, but theoretically, could this channel be completely AI generated and manufactured?
I would assume so. Only because of the time. It seemed like if somebody decided to tell AI, make the top 20 images and make it 8 minutes, it would do that and attribute the user and like, here are the links, do it. You know, it could be done for sure. And with the intent to see like the video length, the intent would be to monetize and like, here's one channel and then do this on several more, you know, and experiment that way. So I think it could definitely be done for sure.
And so what we're all probably agreeing here from a viewer's perspective is that this channel leans too much into reliance on AI to the point where maybe the viewer's satisfaction just isn't being considered enough. As we've all experienced, like we were done after seeing one image. Like I assume that whenever somebody clicks on one of these videos, the audience retention just jumps off a cliff after about 12 seconds when they realize, oh, it's 20 static images and it's going to be 8 minutes long. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
At a guess. Well, there's some tired people in this live stream, folks. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start playing the music, which outros us. It's been a fascinating live stream, as we've had some fantastic guests join us in the second hour. Whoops, I didn't mean to press that. And Dan, we looked at some really interesting channels in the first half, including our first Mandarin channel, I believe, on the live stream. So if you joined us later, do make sure to check out that audit. John, thanks for joining us again. You look very dapper in your cream suit. We want to see more of that. Travis,
I'll be back. I'll be back. I got something cooking that y'all will all see on the channel soon, hopefully.
We shall wait to see.
John too. John has something cooking too.
Oh my goodness, everybody's
cooking everything. We're cooking with gas.
I, on the other hand, are going to go walk my dog now. So, Dan, if you want to lead us out, what have you got to say for yourself?
I'm done cooking as well.